Hey guys, it's Greg from the Trading Post here playing some Hearthstone with you once again. Today we're going to play some Tavern Brawl. The scenario this time is lead from the front. Enough hiding behind your minions, protect them. In this brawl, your hero has taunt. So I've never played this scenario before. I looked at it just long enough on my lunch at work today to read what I just read you, as well as throw together a quick deck for a rogue. And the reason I chose a rogue is nothing profound. I simply had a quest to complete rogue wins. But just because I didn't choose my class carefully doesn't mean I didn't put just a little bit of thought into my deck. It seems to me after reading that description that the taunt mechanic becomes worthless, and minions will only take damage from spells and hero powers. So with that in mind, I built this deck largely around the charge mechanic. I want to be able to get as much damage as I can out against the enemy hero as quickly as I can, and charge allows you to do that. So basically this deck is chock full of charge minions and minions that'll boost the attack power of other minions on the board. So right off the bat here, I'm going to get rid of this South Sea deckhand. And he is kind of a nice little card, but I don't start out with a weapon, so there's no sense in keeping him in my hand until I can take advantage of his conditional charge effect. So turn 1 begins with me, and I'll go ahead and play this freshly drawn Grimscale Oracle. I do have a couple of Murlocs in this deck, so I'll go ahead and get that Grimscale Oracle out there now so I have his +1 damage effect already on the board when I draw more Murlocs. And it's always a nice little bonus when your opponent skips his first turn. So next I go ahead and draw this Acidic Swamp Ooze, something that I don't need right now, so we'll just pocket him. I'll go ahead and use my hero power to get a weapon, so if I do draw that South Sea deckhand we saw earlier, I'll have a weapon equipped and we can get his charge. So naturally we'll just go ahead and deal the damage that we have on the board and wait for our opponent to make his move. Well, I guess Garrosh forgot to get dressed this morning, so he'll put on some armor, and the turn rolls back to me. So the next turn basically leaves me with a choice, either play the Raid Leader or play the Wolf Rider. And I'm going to go ahead and play the Raid Leader. Since he has no minions on the board yet, I'm really in no rush to burn down his health, so we'll get that damage boost out there rather than opting for the charge of the Wolf Rider. So we'll go ahead and deal the damage of the Murloc, but I'm going to hold off on using my weapon charge here. I'd rather have that weapon equipped, so if I do draw that South Sea deckhand, I'll still have a weapon equipped and I can drop him out and get his charge right away. So we'll draw an Assassinate, always a nice card to have in your hand, and we'll move forward. So there are really no noteworthy effect cards in my hand at this point, so it just comes down to another simple choice between the Stormwind Knight and the Wolf Rider. I'll go ahead and play the Wolf Rider due to his higher attack value. So we'll go ahead and channel our inner Batman and punch Garrosh in the face 3 times, with a nice kapow, bam, zlock, and we'll wait for our turn to come back around. And while we wait, look at that, another Raid Leader. How original, Garrosh. Copying my moves. But I guess I did say plus attack damage to other minions is a good mechanic to play in this mode, so I guess we can forgive the unoriginality and move forward. Now I like this Shadowpan Rider that I drew. You can get that combo effect to give him an extra 3 attack, but I don't have any way to get that combo in play on this turn. So I'll go ahead and assassinate that Frigid Snowball because I don't trust that +1 spell damage that a warrior has put out there. And then we're back to more waiting. But that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes that can indicate your opponent has a slow burning deck, or they've gotten bad draws that have really put them in a hard spot. So we'll see what happens. Garrosh Hellscream, you cheeky bastard, using that sparring partner to make my minions attackable. Kind of a smart move there. I wish I had thought of that myself. And you know, I'm not sure that's the move I would have made. I probably would have taken out the Raid Leader, but he got 4 damage off the board. Credit to him, that was a smart play. So on this turn, I'm just going to clear the board again. He still doesn't have a weapon equipped. I can't get the Shadowpan Rider's combo in until next turn, so let's just take out that sparring partner and do more face damage. Well, I can't do anything about it now, but I feel like an idiot clearing that sparring partner with Assassinate instead of the Stormwind Knight. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me in the ass. It would have been much better to have saved that Assassinate for a time when he had a more powerful minion on the board. I like that one, great. Emperor Thorison that I can no longer clear. And wow, good use of Inner Rage there, getting rid of my Murloc. I may have sold you short on your tactical abilities, Mr. Hellscream. So finally I have enough mana to be able to get that Shadowpan Rider's combo effect. And he hasn't played a weapon yet, and I'm kind of starting to think he's not planning to equip one this game, so I'm going to go ahead and drop out the Acidic Swamp Ooze, because at this point it's more important to me to get that 6-7 minion on the board than it is to have that potential to destroy his weapon. Now that's kind of a strange card to include in this deck, that Obsidian Destroyer. Normally that's a pretty good card and it's rather irritating to have against you, but in this instance, you can just bypass that Scarab's taunt, and if you just ignore it, eventually his board will fill up with worthless 1-1 minions. So like I said before, we can just ignore that Scarab's taunt. So we'll go ahead and deal 13 damage to Face, which drops him down to enough health where Leroy Jenkins can come in and finish this game off. So I guess the moral of this story is this Tavern Brawl is very conducive to having a quick, powerful deck with lots of charges and lots of attack power boosts. You might want to throw a few spells in there so you can clear some pesky minions along the way. But anyway, thanks for watching. Since these builds are only worthwhile occasionally, we won't have a link to it in the description. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't scroll down there and find other great links to our Facebook, Twitter, and much more. And while you're clicking around all over the place, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can see more of these videos and all the other amazing content coming out of the Trading Post. Believe it or not, I'm both the least informative and the least entertaining of the Trading Post crew, so browse the channel at your leisure, you won't be disappointed. But anyway, one more time, thank you so much for watching. I'm Greg from the Trading Post, and we'll see you guys soon.